pretty stunning. Yeah, baby.
Oh man, that's fun.
That's what 200 grand's worth of V8 buys you. Holy moly.
350 kilowatts or something, up to 7,000 revs. Like it's.
And what's that? 350 kilowatts.
351.
351 kilowatts at 7,000.
Yep.
And
540 newton meters of torque at 4.5 or 5 or something.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. So.
Important note, we only went to 110.
And we only went to 110.
Yeah.
God, that sounded magnificent, didn't it?
Yeah, sounds good.
LEXUS LC500.
Beautiful car.
Comes in a V8 and a hybrid.
Yes. Yes.
Today we're in the V8. So we've just left Canberra Airport to drive back to Sydney. So we're on a mini road trip. And we thought that we couldn't think of anything we'd rather do it in than a Lexus. Well, that, and we happen to have a Lexus.
Oh yeah. We were going down for a launch, and so we thought, we got the car, let's drive rather than fly, and it has been fun. And rides beautifully, drives beautifully.
And the fuel consumption is far better than I thought it would be.
It is, actually. We're averaging about 9.2 on the highway, which is pretty good.
And considering that we haven't spared the horses, we've been at the speed limit the whole time.
But we've had a bit of fun like we did just then to get to the speed limit. It was good. It was.
You don't like the interior very much?
I just think they're probably unnecessarily complicated. That's my view. I know you love it.
Well, I think they've necessarily complicated.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, and that's why there's that's why we're different. I mean, the functionality for Lexus is usually so easy to use and so easy to find, and I just found on this one you were hunting around trying to find things to change stuff or whatever.
Absolutely true. Now, on the dash is kind of made up of several bits. So there's the vents and the clock, and the large portrait landscape aspect display.
Yes, in the centre there.
In the centre, and then under that is the glove box, some more vents.
Yes.
The air conditioning controls, and an optical drive. An optical drive for a DVD.
Yeah, which is old school these days.
Well, I haven't used one of those in over a decade, but your daughter uses one.
She loves her own DVD, so she'll be right into this. I don't think she'll get a chance to drive it, but she'll be right into this.
And what is she, 20 or?
21.
21.
Yeah.
And she uses DVDs.
Does the Netflix still, but uses DVDs.
So I haven't used a DVD or a CD in a decade. So,
but obviously, for some reason, they've wanted to put an optical drive in.
Yeah, I've got, and fully automatic air conditioning.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not enamoured with the gear selector.
It takes a little while to get used to.
It's over and down for manual.
Yep.
But then you've got to go over and down back to drive again, and if you don't, you're in neutral.
Yes.
And I kept putting it in neutral by accident.
I think it's one of those things that if you drive for a few days, we've only driven this twice, so you still get used to it. You drive for a few days, and it becomes second nature to you. It does look beautiful. It integrates beautifully with the rest of the vehicle.
Yeah.
But it does take a little bit of getting used to it. 10-speed box though.
10-speed gearbox.
Very smooth.
It is a peach. It's an absolute peach. Now, I mean, if it wasn't a 10-speed, we wouldn't be getting that fuel consumption.
No.
We'd be getting much less. This leather upholstery, it's a mixture of real and simulated leather, as they all are, and it's in this kind of tan colour.
Yeah, I'm not the hugest fan of that, but I know you love it.
Which I think it just looks spectacular.
Yeah.
I think it looks, and because it's unusual.
Yes.
You know, an analog clock. Yes, please.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
I would like it in the centre, but I'm not going to be too fussy about that.
No, and they say there's 2 seats in the back, but you know, you and I certainly wouldn't fit into it.
Perfect for the overnight bag, or just lay a jacket down, and that's about it.
Well, the back window has quite a slope on it, and I I don't think you'd fit under. I don't think my head would fit under, even if my legs would fit in, which I doubt they would.
Well, I noticed, like I'm fairly comfortable now, so I can get a good driving position for myself. I am touching the back seat.
Yeah.
But I had my glasses up on my head, as I tend to do, and it would bump on the side of the car.
Yeah.
So although there's headroom up high, on the side it is a little bit crammed. And for such a large vehicle outside, and it is large outside.
It is extremely large. Well, when I was driving up into the airport car park, I thought I was going to touch both sides.
Yeah, I was glad you were driving it, but
It was hairy.
Yes.
And I sort of thought the last thing I want to do is scratch up a $5,000 alloy wheel.
Yeah. No, that's but I think for all its faults, I mean, I think I said this earlier, that the dash looks like an Ewok with two ears sticking out.
Yeah.
You know, it's not probably quite as integrated as what Lexus normally does, but I think they've deliberately done this to give it some uniqueness, and it certainly is unique.
Well, that setup you're talking about, which is there's suspension settings and so forth on those two little stick-out knobs. They look like handlebars of a bike to me.
Yes. Yeah.
That's inspired by the LFA supercar.
True.
So, which is an old car now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a very old car. But what they did was they put things into it that they would bring into cars later. So this is kind of a development of that. Frankly, I think it's pretty nice to drive.
True. Look, we're sitting just on the speed limit, touch bar. I'm on about 1,400 revs.
Yeah,
Like
and that's why we're getting 9.2 litres per 100
It's just
kilometres.
ambling along without an issue.
Outside, I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah. Look, they've designed it so that it will be unique. Whoever buys it is buying it for a reason.
Yeah.
And they want to be looked at, and you will be looked at.
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, the back is incredibly wide and squared off and carved into with all the lights. It's got that vertical indicator, which I think looks fantastic.
But a bulbous rear end.
Bulbous rear end.
Yep.
And of course, that's also on the top of that deck is where the spoiler was from.
Yep.
Then in the front, there's the kind of hourglass shaped grille.
Yep.
But with that really complex headlight that looks like three little kind of stacked jewels, or I really don't know what to call them. But is it LED? I think it is.
It is LED.
LED. And then at the side, just under the doors, it comes in, I reckon, a good 12 or 13 centimetres. It's sculpted in on both sides. I think that looks sensational.
It's almost like an hourglass figure.
It is like an hourglass, very much.
With a nice big bum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big at the front, big at the back, like a big cat.
Yeah.
Sort of ready to pounce.
Yeah.
So I think all in all, it's an amazing package. Amazing for Lexus.
Yeah.
I think they've been allowed to really push the boat out, and they've gone after, in my opinion, the likes of the Jaguar F-Type, which is a two-door, two-seater sports car.
Super sports car.
Super sports car.
Yeah.
It's got exactly the same door handles.
Yes. Yeah.
So you push them to lock, you push them to unlock. Well, you don't. You use the key.
I'm old school that one.
Yeah, I know. But at that boot though, we had trouble getting the bloody boot open.
Well, I was trying to lift from what was apparently the rear bumper bar, thinking it was more of a hatchy type scenario, but it's a tiny little bit. It has fitted all our luggage in.
It has. So there's.
It's very shallow, but it is quite deep.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 bags. Well, at first I thought it was a hybrid. I thought it was the hybrid before we started it. But I think overall, you really can't go wrong with a brand basically parented by Toyota, although they say they're really 2 separate brands that are, of the same status. That's got the kind of backing of security and quality and reliability.
It's a super sports car that you can live with every day.
Yeah.
You can drive it every day if you wanted to, and you can jump in it and go for a drive up to the Hunter Valley for the weekend, and you're just going to be super comfortable.
Do you reckon they'll bring out a convertible?
I hope so.
Geez, that'd be alright, wouldn't it?
I hope so.
Can you imagine being in a convertible with the wind in your hair and Well, the wind in my head.
Yeah. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's
going to be in your head because,
I'll have the beanie on.
Yeah, well, that'll take years off your life. Sorry, I meant age.
Yes, true. Thanks.
I reckon I rate this car.
Yeah.
I really do. It's been good. Now, in a few weeks, I'm taking it up to the Hunter.
Yep.
So that should be
for another car launch.
For another car launch.
Yeah.
I reckon that should be a peach of a drive.
Yeah. It'll be good. And when you're going up there, you'll find some of the backer roads. Yeah, they're a bit rougher. They're a bit not quite as smooth as the freeways. But this thing actually drives pretty well on those roads.
Well, one thing that we noticed when we got back into this after not being in it for 24 hours was that the ride seemed firmer than the car we got out of.
True.
But more compliant, and it feels incredibly sophisticated and luxurious.
For 200 grand plus, you'd want it to be.
Oh no, well, true, but you know, I've been in cars that are 200 grand plus, and they don't fit. Now, for example, let's take that Jaguar F-Type, which this is, no doubt, modelled on. It has a very, very, very hard ride.
Yeah.
And although I like it, it's not hard enough for me, to turn off it. But by God, this is good.
Yeah.
So we've also got, just before we go, do you want to talk about some of the features?
Oh, well, a full suite of safety features.
Full suite of safety.
The lane assist, which keeps bipping at us every time we move, but it will self-steer back into the lane as well, as you'd expect for that sort of price.
Well, I did tempt fate by just loosening my hands on the steering wheel, and it's sort of it's not quite sophisticated enough not to bounce you from side to side in the lane.
True.
But that's okay. I can cope with that.
A couple of little things that it doesn't have adjustments for the wings on the seats, which again I would have expected.
I would have thought so, given that cars that are far cheaper have bolster adjustment.
True. And for some of us it's got to go out, and for some of us it's got to go in.
Yeah, well, that's right, and I think the idea is that the expensive seats are meant to hold you in an expensive way.
Yes.
And that's tight, and so you don't move in corners. This car's going to be thrown in corners. Now, I'm willing to bet that an owner that buys a car like this will take it to the occasional track day. I reckon you'd go on a track on this car.
Could do.
You know, are you going to burn through a couple of grand's worth of tyres? No problem for some people.
I don't know. I reckon, well, look, you would obviously, but I think it's going to be for maybe the slightly older. They've got a bit of money.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out who the real target market for this is.
Think about it this way. It is about 50,000 more than a BMW M4.
But a totally different feel.
It is a totally different feel. But I'm just saying that that no one's doubting the performance of a BMW M4 or M3 or whatever. But I think I could say to myself, if I had the money to spend, would I buy a BMW M4 or would I buy this? And I think I would buy this. And the reason I would buy this is it may or may not handle better or worse than a BMW, but it is completely different. People have noticed us in this. They've looked at it, they don't know what it is. It's, is it an Audi R8? No, it's not an Audi R8. That looks like a Lexus badge, but it doesn't look like any Lexus I've ever seen. You can see it going through their heads.
Yeah.
I rate it.